Last week, I got the opportunity to attend an event that I've been to for the last several years. It's actually an event for colleges outside of New England, but who have admissions officers who recruit New England and happen to live in New England. And they all get together to present on their different schools and talk about their different schools and talk about different trends and changes that they're seeing out there in the college admissions landscape. Like I said, it's always great to catch up with these schools and hear about what's been changing and how they view the world and stuff. But I want to share with you some of the things that I learned about this. I was fortunate enough to sit at a table. The way that the event was set up was people would move tables, and so as you change tables, you would end up talking to different schools. But I was fortunate to talk to the schools I was sitting with, and one school, like I think most schools view it this way, is that colleges are a business, right? They may be nonprofits or they may be public institutions, but they are a business like any other. And so it's all about money in and money out. In fact, one of the admissions folks actually said this. And I think sometimes people view it as like a secret, but it's really not, because college is a business, and certainly college athletics is a huge business. But what that means is that they consider finances, right? And in particular for families, that means aid, whether that's merit scholarships or financial aid or whatever. And so different colleges have different views on, or different ways that they handle this, and what they actually look for in terms of students. And one topic in particular that came up was this topic around or demonstrated interest. In other words, like showing your interest in the school by taking a tour, going virtual tours, emailing missions, and there's a whole host of activities. And one school in particular, I'll just share the story, and I won't out this, but it was very much within context. Like they wanted to see demonstrated interest, but not so much that it becomes annoying, but they certainly want to see some. But the question for me was, how does that impact aid? And at this particular school, it really did not impact aid at all. It was not a factor in terms of how much financial aid you get or a scholarship. But it does have an impact on the admissions side, where they talked about, well, if there's a student on the wait list and they're continuing to show interest, they're more likely to take that student off the wait list versus a student who is on the wait list but doesn't do anything or demonstrate any interest. Other schools, it is a factor, although it's never a huge factor. Like demonstrated interest is never going to overcome a really low SAT score, a really low math grade or something, right? But could it make a little bit of difference or kind of get you over the hump to get into the next level of scholarship or aid? Yeah, absolutely. So these things matter. And we also talked about how demonstrated interest is great for the students simply to do research on the school to make sure that they actually want to go there. It's something that I often tell people. Another factor we talked about, and this is something that is the real game of aid, if you will, right? I was about to say financial aid, but it's not just financial aid. But it's this thing called institutional priorities. And because colleges are a business, each business has their own priorities. Maybe they want a certain type of customer, or they're maybe trying to launch a certain product line or expand in a certain territory or whatever. All those things are true for colleges. They might be looking to start or expand an existing major. They might be looking for more girls or boys or girls or whatever, or they might be trying to recruit students from a certain part of the country, such as New England. Well, one of my questions to one of the college folks at a nationally, if not internationally, well-known private school, I asked point blank, how does institutional priorities influence aid? And he admitted, without really giving me any secrets, but he's like, it absolutely does, right? It absolutely does. And he even said, you would think that most of the schools that were in the room, that would be true also. And in my experience in talking to schools, that is true. My point in telling you all of this is simply that no two colleges are alike, kind of like no two snowflakes are alike, right? Everybody's looking for something different. And so part of the strategy to maximize aid for your students is to kind of figure this out, or look at your list and structure and develop your school list where you have the maximum chances for aid, because your student is helping the colleges meet their priorities because they are businesses, and to show that you're actually interested, right? Because colleges, through the demonstrated interest part and all these things rolled together, is that they actually want to know if you're actually going to show up, right? Like, yeah, you might apply, but that doesn't mean that if you got in, you're actually going to show. So they want to see that you're actually going to show. So there is a strategy to all of this. Anyway, I just wanted to share that the sort of what I learned from the event. It's really, this particular aspect is not really unlike what I learned in years past, but it's a great event I go to every year. Get to see a lot of private admissions counselor friends also. It's great. It's a great networking event, great way to catch up. But I want to also pass this knowledge along to you. So anyway, hope this helps. I hope you have a great day. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.